This show is brought to you by Manscaped. Use the code AFTV for 20% off your order and free shipping at manscaped.com.
Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Julian with me. First half performance for me, I want to start with this, wasn't what we saw last week. The boys didn't seem up for it. I think a lot of fans, I think people said it as well, the fans were up for it. How are you feeling during the game?
Well, I'm cold, I'm wet, but I'm not miserable.
You're not miserable?
I'm not miserable.
Not even with the result and what you saw today?
No, I'm not miserable. And I disagree with what you said about them not being up for it. I think they were up for it. They didn't concede. They dug in. They didn't play well, but they didn't let a goal in.
Yeah.
And I think the mentality was right, but the tactics weren't there. I mean, we can talk about the weather, and it definitely had an effect on this game. Had an effect on everything. You can't play football in the same way in those conditions as you could last week.
But Julian, it's raining for both sides. I don't know, I've heard a few fans say the rain, and you said about their mentality and you think they were up for it. Were we not lucky today from what you saw? Brighton had a lot of the possession, had a lot of chances.
Were Brighton lucky?
Were we lucky for Brighton not to score against us? Not Brighton.
Were Brighton lucky?
Why did you say we're Brighton lucky?
No, it was a question. I'm not saying Brighton were lucky, but when you look at the chances, yes, they had more shots, but they only had 2 on target. I think it was in the last 10 minutes. So for all their possession, for all their chances, most of their shots were way over the bar, way wide. Yes, there was 2 good saves. 2 good saves, but other than that, they didn't really test us.
That's interesting. So are you telling me today was a good performance, Julian? Because I massively disagree with you right now, but do you think it was a good performance from the boys today, especially after what you saw last week against Tottenham?
Okay. Was it a good performance? It wasn't terrible. The opposition, and I'll go back to it, we made jokes last week about the opposition, but Brighton, on present form, are a better team than Tottenham, a much better team. And their position in the league table is a reflection of how good they are at the moment. I don't think they'll get any better, but it was probably one of the worst times to play Brighton, and we didn't lose. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. We didn't lose, but I think there'll be an argument to say if the strikers at Tottenham played today for Brighton, it might have been a different result, because they had many chances. There was those chances where Trossard missed. So again, I'm going to ask you, were we lucky, or are you going to stick with Brighton were lucky? No, I'm not saying either team was lucky. Okay. It was a game affected by the conditions. One thing that I didn't think we did well was adapt to those conditions, because we played in the same way as we have done in the last few games, and you can't play the same way in those conditions. So you're telling me a professional footballer has an excuse if it's bad weather conditions, if it's snowing, raining? It's absolutely not an excuse. What I'm saying, you have to play and adapt to the conditions. And what I'm telling you is that today they dug in. I don't have an issue with the mentality, but the way they played. Did they adapt? No, they didn't adapt to the conditions. And that's why we didn't have the free-flowing football that we saw last week. Okay, fair enough.